All right, Tom.
I'd like to call to order the agenda for Thursday planning board meeting, October 16, 2025, held at 7 p.m. Peabody City Hall, lower level conference room, 24 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the October 2nd, 2025 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept and approve the minutes of the October 2nd, 2025 meeting.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. A&R and Land Court, we have none. Site building permit plan reviews, 15 Sylvan Street, map 30, lot 49. Continued from the 10-2 meeting of 25.
Mr. Chairman, just before Attorney Kelty here comes to, I guess I was going to say the stage, but before he comes before the board this evening, I just want to give everybody an update, which I'm sure Attorney Kelty will also give. As you know, at the last meeting, I had mentioned that the year's project had gone out to peer review for the stormwater. That peer review had then since come back and it was sitting on the desk at our Department of Public Services. Since then, DPW has reviewed that and they've provided with you as a late, it would be a late ad this evening if the board wishes to vote to accept a closeout memo for this where he, Mr. Pollitt, the director of engineering, lays out a series of conditions for the applicant to meet if the board so chooses to vote to accept the late ad and then accepts or votes to move forward approving this project. I've talked with Mr. Pollitt about it. The project is still in front of Conservation Commission. So this would not be the one and done for them. They would still need to go back in front of Concom. But you'll see that Mr. Pollitt has laid out a series of 13 conditions in the memo. And then this was also forwarded to Attorney Kelty as well.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of 15 Sullivan Street, I move to receive a late communication from William Pollitt, Director of Public Services, Peabody. The date on the memo is October 16th. It's a 2-page memo and it lays out comments and concerns with this project. Move to receive.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Dr. Otto and Dennis, I'll drop it into the online folder right now for you.
Thank you.
It'll just be under the 15 Sylvan Street folder. The board needs a minute to review this. There's 2 pages from Mr. Pollitt, but then he also included the latest peer review that Horsley Witten did as well. Yep. Attorney Kelty, if you want to present.
Nope, I really don't have much to add. On the list of participants this evening is Eric Dubio from Bowler Engineering. However, he has not had the opportunity to see this memo. I will send it to him in the morning, and it looks as though through my conversation with Mr. Pollitt this afternoon, he made note of the fact that the project is still before Danvers, but most notably is before our Conservation Commission at their November meeting. We believe that this can serve as a closeout memo, sending us off to complete. I think that any motion should certainly say subject to approval by Conservation Commission and the incorporation of the recommendations into final plans.
Have any questions from the board?
I just have a couple questions as long as the board, I know everyone's meeting, so I've had time to look at it, but I can wait.
Will, in his memo, he said we should address the following issues. And there are 9 items, and it appears that those are taken from the document which is attached to his memorandum, in which Horsley Witten made these recommendations. And so Will is reiterating them, and then he adds 4 conditions at the bottom, which we would agree to. We do agree to.
And you still need a positive vote from Concom?
We need an order of conditions from the
Dr. Otto?
Uh,
Just for my own edification, Attorney Kelty, could you, or Drew, explain what an illicit discharge permit is?
I believe that comes from stormwater and being filtered on site, but Attorney Kelty, you might know more than I or Eric from Bowler might also know what that is. But Attorney Kelty, or sorry,
Which one is it?
Dr. Otto, to your point,
The Swift.
I cannot explain what it is entirely. It's a illicit discharge compliance statement. Eric DeBrule from Bowler is
Yeah, I see.
here as well. Eric, can you hear us?
Yes, I just got the ability to unmute myself. For the record, Eric DeBrule, Bowler Engineering. I haven't had the benefit of seeing that memo, but just in general, an illicit discharge statement is something that we would provide standard to mass stormwater standards, and essentially just says that, you know, any stormwater tie-ins to any type of municipal system, whether it be sanitary or sewer, that we're doing it, you know, there's no illegal connections, i.e. we wouldn't tie drainage into sanitary or things of that nature. So pretty straightforward and standard item there.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
I just had a couple questions. First off, Attorney Kelty, being able to look at this, are these things that you guys will be able to meet? A majority of this stuff
Yes.
is kind of on the back end. It won't really affect the overall location of buildings and things like
Oh,
that.
no.
The one piece though that I would like to mention is that I did have a pretty lengthy conversation with Captain Richard from the police department today, in which we discussed the access egress on Sylvan Street to the property. If you'll remember, we are requiring that it be a right in, right out only of that. They have shown on the plan some sort of island and then break for, I believe, the sidewalk or pedestrian, and then like a second part of an island to help restrict. But in speaking with both the Department of Public Services and the police department and community development, we would require that be granite vertical granite curbing for that island, and signage as well to let people know that they cannot go left out of there.
And that's Will's comment number 1.
That's right there as well, and then about the ADA stuff as well. So
Any other questions from the board?
I would just recommend to the board that if any motion is to be made this evening, that as part of the conditions, it be in there that they need to receive a favorable action from the Conservation Commission as well, and that all these items need to be satisfied prior to building permit being issued.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, if I may, again, Eric DeBrule with Bowler, I don't want to interrupt, but I just wanted to add a point in on that vertical granite curb comment.
Yep.
The reason it's not vertical granite and that it's a sloped curbing in that island along, I believe you're talking about the median on Sylvan.
Yeah.
Is because we need emergency vehicles to be able to mount it. It's a 2 or 3 inch curb that a fire truck or ambulance could mount over. If that's a vertical granite curb, they wouldn't be able to gain access through that. So we would want to have some additional conversations there if that is going to be required, because we won't be able to get the fire trucks through that with a vertical granite curb there.
Is there a possibility for that to be some sort of planting in the middle of there that would further deter people from trying to drive over? Because I think right now it's just shown as like pavers, correct?
Correct. It's just a just pavers in there. It's mounted, it's 3 inches. So if someone in a Toyota Corolla were to go over it, they're gonna notice it, and it's not something you're gonna choose to go over intentionally. But the same thing, if we put plantings, a sign, or made it vertical granite curbing, the fire truck wouldn't be able to get through there.
I will say that this is, besides the stormwater, this is the largest piece why this project is being reviewed for the Peabody because it is that entrance exit there. I would recommend that if any action is to be taken, that as part of this condition, if it seems like granite curbing might not be able to be done, that the applicant needs to satisfy or meet with the police department, determine or some sort of island that satisfies the police and Department of Public Services. I think would be the best move here.
Yes. So, this is, an option. If you look at the box, I'm sorry. The bonkers right turn only where the curbing, if you want to do, instead of the vertical granite, you know how that, the right turn, the exit itself is not straight to the street and then take a right. It's actually curved with a sign on this side that says right turn only. So when you come up to it, in other words, on the property, it starts turning right. You know what I mean? You know, the bonkers right turn only. If you could do something like that, and then obviously if on the property, here's the street, and on the property it starts turning this way, and you put right here, right turn only. Well, they're not going to go left, and the driveway itself will kind of, you know what I'm
It's a
talking about?
bias.
Huh?
It's a bias.
Biased, yes, a bias. You know,
We've already
that might
got
be
that.
an alternative, a simple alternative where they can still use what they want. But the driveway going out will be at a bias at a turn, and then on the left-hand side of the turn, because you're going right, that's where you normally put a sign, right turn only. So they're never gonna take a left turn there. Just as an alternative to the vertical granite issue that you have. Just a comment, there's nothing in this memo about the traffic island. It says the entrance and the exit, doesn't mention traffic island at all, so that could be a separate issue.
So, well, I'm gonna share the screen in a second just so everyone can see it. Well, you can see it, but I'm gonna share it on Zoom in here as well. The item we're talking about is this, what is shown on here. I'm gonna share my screen so everyone
No,
can see.
isn't it the other end?
No, that's the Peabody side that's
That's
sharing.
So the top of the screen is, okay.
Yeah, the Danvers
That's it.
line is this
Yeah,
line
okay.
right here. So this is what we're talking about. So they're showing what we're discussing here is this island. And in speaking with Captain Richards, he is fine with the design. He just wanted something here more than just something maybe mounded that would deter someone from wanting to drive over that.
But Eric, have we designed it to be driven over by the?
Not, yeah, so we did, to your point, the geometry we think is correct with the angling and the typical, the double island there, and it's mountable, so you'd have to essentially drive up, several inches. So it's not by any means, nobody would drive over that intentionally with a normal sized car or any type of vehicle. But it needs to be mountable for emergency vehicles and delivery trucks. So to make it a vertical granite curb or to put anything inside of there would prohibit, the turning movements that we need for the emergency vehicles. But I think, no car, no person would choose to drive over that by any means. And we think the geometry is going to prohibit people from doing that. I mean, you can't stop everybody from doing crazy things, but we think it's designed so that it would stop, the majority of people that are that are logical drivers.
You have a drawing that shows better the entrance and exit off of Sylvan Street?
No, it's just the total site plan, but this is the entrance that we're talking about.
So Drew, through the chair, I just want to point out that you see that where it says stop there, you see how that's turning a little bit to the right on the property going out to the street? That's exactly what I'm saying, but they could make that turn just a little bit more, which would make that island on the left maybe a little bit bigger because it'd be a little wider, and that could eliminate the issue where, you know, it'd be very difficult for anybody to think that they could take a left turn there, especially in that island. Well, I don't know about fire trucks, but typically there would be something in that island that'll say right turn only. But now, because of the fire truck, it'll probably be on the right side where it says right turn only. But you know, if you make that turn, that radius a little bit more bias, a little bit more on the property going right, that might help identify a right turn only more clearly.
So we're expecting delivery trucks. You're thinking they're going to go in and out of here instead of just pulling in straight off. I forget the street name up top there.
Endicott.
Endicott. Sorry, Endicott Street.
Yeah. We've got, yeah, we think the delivery trucks would come in from Sylvan and then exit.
Wouldn't it be easier just to put plants in the island?
I'm saying
Well,
they have
can't.
to
That's what he's
mount
saying.
over that curb. So if you put a plant there, they'd have to drive over the planting. Same with the
Right.
fire trucks.
Free there.
I guess when you're saying mount, are we expecting like delivery trucks are just going to drive completely, and you expect the fire trucks to drive completely over this every
That-
time?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so it's designed, so it's a slope curb. It's designed to be mounted, but yes, that's the intention.
And in meeting with the fire department, they wanted entrance access from right there as well.
I did not have that meeting myself from board. I'm covering for another person, so I can't answer that. I don't know, but I know we've on our design plans, I think from day one, we've had the emergency vehicle circulation paths. I would have imagined at this point they would have reviewed it. But I don't know that I don't know if we've had that meeting or not. I don't have that history. I'm sorry.
That curving in the island is basically gonna be the same type of deal as you have on Main Street in downtown Peabody, where you can kind of drive over that little thing there. Everyone drives.
I mean, I will tell you the number one comment that Captain Richards had to me was to make it that to kind of beef that up to deter any vehicles from going left. And I know that I get it, you know, it is true. It's designed that you're not gonna willingly want to drive over it, but people are gonna drive over and they're gonna try to go left through 2 lanes of traffic there. And that's what we're trying to deter against.
Well, like you said earlier, someone, you know, let's just make a condition that he needs to, you know, coordinate with the police department just just both agree on something.
And any redesign would need to be approved by this board.
Oh, it'd have to come back
Yeah,
here.
I guess like I'm trying to also think if it's the fire trucks, I understand that who knows that, but could there be removable, not bollards, but something placed in there that when they know they're getting delivery, Raising Cane's just has to go remove the bollards or something?
That's about 3 months.
Yeah, I don't
As
know.
someone who has driven big vehicles, if the fire department goes on that site, they can back out. A delivery truck, a trailer, he's gonna have to swing wide and go in. Hopefully he can turn around on the property and come out the other way and go up to Endicott Street.
Because they do have an entrance as well on Endicott Street. It's a straight in, straight out. Sorry.
Does the parking lot?
What if the vehicle is coming from, if the delivery vehicle is coming from 114, he's gonna use the Peabody entrance.
Correct. Yeah. Same with a fire truck.
And he would be able to come in, turn around and go out
And exit the property on Endicott Street.
Yep.
So, the more we talk, it's less of an issue to me.
Well, we just leave it alone at eye level here and let the chips fall where they may on the next step.
Just make it if there's a motion, say, to appease the Peabody Fire Department and Police Department.
They haven't had an issue with it, right? Police and fire?
No, this is since the beginning, we've told them that this is the issue, that they need to make a beefed up, no right.
Okay,
turn. So
that's for the general public, so they follow the traffic rules. But
Yeah.
the issue of getting a large emergency vehicle in there, it's not an issue. He can pull in. If he needs to, he can back out.
I mean,
If he needs to, he can circle the building and exit that way.
yeah, I think it's less, in speaking to the fire department, I don't think they're gonna be rushing into this site blindly. They're gonna stage and figure out the best way to get in and out beforehand. So I think it's more of that we've just, since the beginning, have been saying we want a beefed up to force that right in, right out only in that location.
What a compliment, instead of having the vertical curbing, granite curbing, or the flat curbing, like this is, what about, for lack of I'm not sure, you know, the granite that's at an angle, a 45-degree angle? You know,
Sloped.
slope.
I mean, I think
So if a fire truck
I-
can go over it, it's more distinctive for the driver.
I guess there's some, from our point, from community development's point, we want it to be well known that we want the most the best possible deterrent for the right in, right out only.
How about that?
What the board wants to do with that, which I believe to be is the granite curbing, and that the entrance needs to be designed in a way then to accommodate those vehicles. I mean, they own the land, so they could figure out the entrance exit there to accommodate and still make it right in, right out. But if the board so chooses, they could vote just to make it a condition that they satisfy the police and Department of Public
Yeah, but then
Services.
they gotta come back before the board, you know, it's like, let's move this along, so. But I'm giving you the clear granite curbing, I'm just putting it at an angle rather than the vertical.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's what the fire and police department wants. So, I mean, I guess I'm
Just to
giving them more of
clarify,
the
the
possibility that
design.
they could get a conditional approval this evening and start moving forwards, at least with a conditional approval. They just, before they get a building permit, would have to.
And you're actually gonna have more traffic issues with the general public than emergency equipment.
100%. We just don't want people pulling left out of this facility across 2 lanes of traffic onto Sylvan Street.
Any other comments or questions from the board?
Sorry, Eric, I cut you off there. My apologies.
No, I just wanted to clarify the current design does have it's a vertical, I'm sorry, a sloped granite curbing there, and it's 4 inch. We're proposing 4 inches. I looked at it, which is not typical, which I think we usually show a 2 or 3 inch mountable. We're showing it at 4 inches, so it is actually pretty robust
Okay.
in terms of, like, you know, a small car is gonna
Beefed up.
bottom out on that thing.
And I will say, Eric, in speaking with Captain Richards, he just we couldn't find a description or showing us a spec of that. So we're unsure of what it was. So I think the best step here would be for the planning board, in the sake of, if this is the board chooses, would be to recommend that they work with the police department, or that the police department is satisfied with what is designed out there. So I don't know, Captain Richards could look at 4 inches for the granite curb or the slope curb and say that works for him.
Did he just say that their design is a 3-inch curve?
It's 4 inch. So
We
originally
normally do 2.
they usually do 3. They're doing 4 inch sloped curb on this, which is a little bit beefier. So
Oh, they are doing the slope, though.
it's kind of like a compromise between the two, but I'm not the police department, so I can't tell you that this is the best or not. So that's why I would say that if the board so chooses, they might wish to condition this, that they satisfy the police department's.
I just want to be clear, you just mentioned slope curb, is it a vertical curb he's talking about, or slope? Because you
No,
just
They
said
want
slope.
vertical. They want vertical.
No, the community development department, and the
Wants
police
vertical.
department, and the
We already
Department of Public
asked.
Services
Oh,
has asked for it to be vertical. They are showing on the plans a 4 inch sloped curve.
I'm fine with the slope, I think that's a compromise. Because in my point, it's more important that the fire and the emergency people get in there than the customers.
They can get in. That 6-inch curbing is not gonna be detrimental to them accessing the property.
Yeah, it's more the delivery trucks that I think it's being designed for, because the fire department's gonna get in. That being said, we just wanna make it, have a design that does the most to deter a left-hand turn
Okay,
across Sylvan Street. So if the board so chooses to vote, I would recommend that the condition be that the design satisfies, or design something in satisfaction with the police department, work with the police department on a design that satisfies them.
so leave it up to police department to make the decision.
I mean, like I said, the 4-inch slope curve might be fine. You know, like I said, Captain Richards couldn't find a spec on it, so he didn't know what you guys were doing, and he was nervous that it was just going to be kind of a mound out there. But
Yep.
you know, he might look at the 4-inch slope curve and say that's totally fine.
Any other questions or comments? This time I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of 15 Sylvan Street, I would move conditionally permit to issue, conditions being, the project gets a positive recommendation from the Conservation Commission. And additionally, the petitioner shall comply, work with,
Comply.
I
the
think
13 items laid out in Will Pollitt's memo of October 16th. A little further, if there is to be modifications to the curbing at the entrance, the petitioner will come back with a modified plan to be approved.
And we'll work with the police.
sorry,
That's up to
With the
them.
recommendation of the police.
it will get very confusing if we piecemeal this together. I
It's
think
already confusing.
I know. I think we need to do this one more. I think the motion's on there, but I think that the motion should be revised in that the community we can't have it say comply, work with. It needs to be one or the other because we can't have wishy-washy language in there. So I would say that Community Development Department recommend that the motion be that they comply with the items. I can't make the motion,
That's right.
but they comply. You have to be very straightforward that they
Drew said.
yeah, but they comply with the memo with the date.
Did you mean comply?
Yeah, and then work with, and then you can add in regards to condition number, I guess it'd be 1A from the Department of Public Services, and there we offer the in that section, or I was just saying in reference to the entrance in Sylvan Street that they work with Department of Public Services and the Police Department. It'll be very confusing down the road if you were to look back at this motion and say comply, work with, what does that really mean? So I think we need to be a little bit more specific on what's
I'll
asked.
withdraw my motion.
Can you make another one?
You speak so eloquently.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of 15 Sylvan Street, I would recommend conditional permit to issue. Condition 1 being a positive vote or recommendation from the Conservation Commission. Condition number 2 is comply or work with the city on the.
No,
You
you
did.
can't have it,
Comply.
you have to have it just be straight, comply.
Not work with, just comply.
Strike work with.
Comply with the 13 items laid out in Mr. Pollitt's memo of October 16th. Further, should the petitioner and the police and fire department deem that the 6-inch curb is not necessary and something more suitable would be a better situation, the petitioner will come back for a modification.
I'm sorry, I don't wanna be very nitpicky, but I think we need to be on this motion because when you read this back, it's gonna be somewhat
There you go.
confusing.
Take care of it.
But I unfortunately can't make the motion. I would recommend that the board vote to conditionally approve, if the board so chooses, that the motion can be as simple as a conditional approval that they receive satisfactory vote from the Conservation Commission and that they comply with the conditions laid out in Mr. Pollitt's memo dated October 16th, 2025. Furthermore, that in the case of the entrance and exit on Sylvan Street, the applicant to work with the police and fire department on a satisfactory design.
That's what he said. Work with.
No,
Anyway.
you can't comply and work with, you have to.
Say
Well,
so.
you just said that. You said comply.
No,
You
I
just
did
said-
not. I said you have to comply with the memo
That's
that
right.
it did, but then in the regards to that one condition that we've been discussing this evening, they need to work with the department. This is to move this on, that they would need to work with the Department of Public Services and the police department. I mean, I can type it out if we
Okay.
want, but
I'll make a motion.
You're making it.
I'll try it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion regarding 15 Sylvan Street. with the following conditions. Motion to recommend for a permit, building permit. With the following conditions, the satisfactory vote with the conservation, comply with the Conservation Commission. And also to comply with DPS's memo from Mr. Pollitt's
October 16, 2025.
for on the October 16, 2025 memo. And
In regards to the entrance.
in regards to the entrance
On Sylvan Street.
on Sylvan Street,
Entrance exit.
that
Satisfactory with the police and fire department.
That the applicant work with the police and fire, or police
that
and
the applicant work with the police fire department regarding the
Silver Street.
entrance exit on
Design.
Sylvan Street
design.
design for favorable outcome.
So moved.
We have a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Your child was well prepared for that.
Dennis Lee.
No, sorry, I tried to stop sharing. So,
Yeah.
Dennis, we couldn't see you on the screen there. How did you vote? You voted, yeah, feedback, please.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn. Appointments, none. Subdivision board action, none. Correspondence, regional notices. Other matters properly before the board. Move to adjourn. We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor, unanimous.
Aye.
Thank you.